Welcome to video 6 in my video series on how to start a WordPress blog. So in previous videos, we've talked about finding the right hosting provider, installing WordPress within your hosting plan that you established with your hosting provider. We took a look at the WordPress dashboard. We configured your WordPress blog. And now in this video, we're talking about plugins. So what is a plugin? What are some of the must-have plugins for your blog? And finally, plugin installation. How do you go about getting these plugins installed? So let's talk a little bit about what is a plugin. A plugin is just some additional code that was created by a third-party developer that extends the functionality of your blog. So WordPress out of the box contains a limited set of functionalities. You can configure your blog, make it look pretty. You can create a post. You can create a page for your blog. But there's a number of things that it doesn't do for you. And that's where a plugin will come into play. Plugin gives you a better look at maybe some of the statistics for your blog. Who's visiting? What are the clicks that they're making once they visit your blog? I've identified 6 plugins that I think are must-haves for your blog. And what we'll do in this video is we will walk through the installation process for all 6 of these, get them up and running on our blog, and start configuring them. We will start configuring some of the basic ones. For the plugins that have more involved configuration steps, I'll create a subsequent video for each of those. So the 6 plugins that I recommend everyone have for their blog are the following. Akismet Anti-Spam. This you'll find out once you get a blog up and running. There are numerous people that will comment on your blog, and 99% of the comments that you get are junk. Akismet will help filter all of that crap out and throw it in a spam folder for you. EWWW Image Optimizer. When you add an image to your blog post, that image is not optimized. It is whatever size that image has when you captured that image is what's uploaded to your blog. So if it's a very large image, it's going to take a significant amount of time to load that image. What this plugin will do is compress that image for you without losing its value, without losing the quality of the image, and optimize it so it loads quicker on your blog. iThemes Security. That is another plugin that helps extend the security of your blog. There's a number of different things you can configure that will help prevent a hacker from accessing your blog. JetPack. This is a plugin developed by the creators of WordPress that gives you all kinds of functionality. It's like a plugin within a plugin. W3 Total Cache. This is a plugin that will help the performance of your blog. We'll have a follow-up video to configure this thing, because it's a very large plugin and there's a lot that you can do with it. And then finally, Yoast SEO. When you start creating blog posts for your blog, there are different things that you can do to help optimize that post that'll get it to the top of the search rankings. And the closer to the top your post is, the more likely someone will click on it. Yoast SEO isn't a magical plugin that will all of a sudden make your post the top performing one in the search engines, but there's things that you can do, things that it will tell you to do to help you get near the top of the search engine rankings. So those are the 6 plugins that I recommend. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of others that you can install. And as you learn more about your blog, you'll find that you may or may not have a need for other plugins. What I will walk you through in this video will help you install any plugin and give you the knowledge you need to start configuring that to work with your blog. So let's get into this. Okay, so we're logged into our WordPress dashboard here for our blog, and now we want to start installing some plugins. So you'll notice there is a setting or a section here for plugins, and if we just click on this, this will show us the plugins that came pre-installed as part of our WordPress installation. Akismet, which we know we want, Hello Dolly, and limit login attempts. Hello Dolly has got to be the stupidest plugin that's ever been created. I don't even know what it does. When activated, you will randomly see a lyric from Hello Dolly in the upper right of your admin screen on every page. I'm guessing it's Howdy Admin. Whatever. I don't want it. So if you have a plugin you ever don't need, delete, okay, and it's gone. Limit login attempts is another pre-installed plugin that came with our WordPress install. This has actually got some good features that come along with it, but those features will be replaced by another plugin that we end up installing. And you can see here that this little blue highlight means that it is active, and you can see that there's a link here to deactivate that. So we're going to do that right now, deactivate that blog. We don't need it, so we can delete it. And it's a good thing to not have a number of plugins installed on your blog because it has the potential to slow down performance. And the other thing I'm going to call out here is when you install a plugin, you want to make sure it's being updated. Plugins are another piece of code that go along with your WordPress installation. And with that, there is the potential to identify or to create security vulnerabilities within your blog. So you want to ensure you're using a reputable developer for your plugin, and we'll show you how to go about identifying that. And you want to ensure that your plugins are being updated on a regular basis. So if you've got a plugin that's out there that hasn't been updated in a year or over a year, I would shy away from that because that just tells me the developer's not taking the development or the maintenance of that plugin seriously. And there could be, I'm not saying there is, but there could be security vulnerabilities that go along with that plugin. So you want to be careful of the things that you install within your blog because there could be holes that open up for a bad guy or bad gal to exploit and hack your blog. So the first plugin we wanted to focus on is the Akismet plugin, and it is a way to protect your blog from spam. And you can see a quick little description of that right here. And you simply activate it. With some plugins, it will walk you through the steps that you need to do to configure things. So in this case here, it's telling us, hey, you're almost done. You need to configure it to get rid of any spam associated with comments on your site. So in this case here, you simply click on the button. You go get, if you click on this, it's going to take you to their website where you can get an API key, which you will just plug in here and hit connect, and it will activate it for your site. I'm not going to go through this activation piece right here because I'm not really using this blog as a production blog for myself. But trust me on this one, if you don't put a spam filter on your site, you will get bombarded with comments that have nothing to do with your blog. This is one of the first things that you're going to want to get set up. Back to the plugins page. We want to install a new plugin. And the next plugin on my list of recommended plugins is called the EWWW Image Optimizer. And when you want to add a new plugin, you simply come up here to the top, click on Add New, and you will get a list of all the various plugins, very similar to the themes that we talked about earlier that are available. And you can look at popular plugins, recommended plugins, favorites that you may have identified. And just to take a step back here, you can see for each plugin how many active installs there are. So for Akismet, you can see there's over 1 million active installs, and it has a 5-star rating. It has a number of good reviews with it. You can see that it was last updated a month ago, so you know it is being maintained by the developer. And if you kind of scroll down here, you can see the different reviews for each of these. In this case here, WordPress Importer was last updated a year ago. This one, limit login attempts, which was on our blog that we deactivated or deleted, was last updated 5 years ago. And you can see if it's been tested with your current version of WordPress or if it is not tested with it. In this case, it's untested. This one here is compatible with our current version of WordPress. So it gives you everything you need to know about that plugin at a glance. And if you want to delve into additional details on this particular plugin, you can see a more detailed description, a breakdown of the rankings, who the author is. You can see some installation steps, a change log for all the various releases that have been deployed for that plugin, an FAQ, and a review section. So it's really a cool little way to see everything that you ever wanted to know about a particular plugin in question. Let's go back to our add plugins. And in our case here, we know we want the EWW Image Optimizer. And in this case, it has 4.5 stars, was last updated a month ago, and it's compatible with our version of WordPress. This is the one we want. So you simply click on the install button, and it will give you a little running circle here while it's installing. And it shouldn't typically take more than a minute to install. Some plugins will install quicker than others. This one took about 30 to 40 seconds to actually do the install. And it gives you the ability to activate it directly from here, or we can go back to our plugin section and we can see we have that plugin installed here, and it gives us the ability to activate it. So we come down here, click activate. Don't really want to do this. And this is our message from our previous Akismet plugin. We'll just ignore that for now. But now you can see our EWWW Image Optimizer plugin is activated. And there's a settings page for it. And typically you don't need to do anything with this. You have some basic settings, advanced settings, conversion settings. We're just going to leave the default settings here, and that plugin is up and running and available to your website. And so what this one will do, anytime you add an image to a blog post, it will automatically go through here using this plugin to optimize that image for you and shrink the size of it down so it is fully optimized for your website. So let's install a few others. And what we're going to do here is I'm just going to speed this up so we go through the installation process real quick here, and we'll talk about a few things once I get everything installed. All right, we are back, and we have our 6 plugins installed. And as you can see, 2 of them are activated, the other 4 are not. Like I said earlier, when you install a plugin, you need to configure them in most cases. Some of them give you the ability to configure them right from the plugins page. In other cases, you can actually look at your settings section within the WordPress dashboard, and you can see EWWW Image Optimizer has a settings area associated with it. iThemes Security created a separate section to configure these settings. Yoast SEO also created a separate settings section here for us to configure, view the dashboard, and do some different configurations within that. So in a future video, we will talk about configuring Yoast SEO, W3 Total Cache, as well as iThemes Security. That is really all I wanted to share with you. So we talked about the 6 must-have plugins. We talked about how you install them, how you can start taking a look at configuring some of those plugins. And in our next videos, we will start looking at what you need to do to configure iThemes Security, W3 Total Cache, as well as Yoast SEO. Be sure to hit that subscribe button down at the bottom of the screen here. Hope you found this helpful, and we'll see you in the next video.